Hey everyone, Seventh Moose here. So I'm still doing the Twitch thing, trying to get you guys to come watch me over there. It's going to be a nice, relaxed, chill chat thing. Got a question of the week. You guys can answer the question of the chat. We can get a conversation going, hopefully. Right now, I've been playing Path of Exile, but I want to switch that up eventually. Anyway, question this week was: is it better to be skinny or fat? First off, I'll just answer the question in my own personal opinion, which means absolutely nothing, and we'll get more into that a little later. I think it's better to be fat than skinny if I have to choose one of the two, because I'm a bit of a survivalist. I know I look like a mountain man who built a log cabin by his hands and married a bear, but I'm not that hardcore. But I do think that a little extra weight is going to be better for survival than a little less. That's just my personal opinion, though. You really shouldn't take anything from it. I think in this country we do have a problem with weight as a whole, and in this culture and our society as a whole in general. Some not so much, but especially in this country, we seem to have a problem, and it's not a problem like you think. The obesity crisis, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking that we have a problem with the number of a weight. If you're 170 pounds versus 160, if you're a size 9 or a size 10, if your biceps are 24 inches versus 27, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, or rarely will it ever matter unless you're someone who makes a lot of money from this. We're all way, way, way too focused on this. To give some context, I used to work at a supplement store as well as a gym, and I was working both these jobs at the same time. It was 80 hours a week. I was probably in the best shape of my life. I was really happy. Should get back into that. But I would have a lot of people, they would come in to my supplement store, the gym, they want to lose weight. They would talk about numbers and inches and dress sizes and all kinds of stuff. Obviously, it's a much bigger problem with females and males, but males still were a good percentage of the people that had these unrealistic and stupid goals. What I would generally tell people to do is I'd set them up with some kind of program, some kind of regimen, something that I truly would believe in. I wasn't about to sell some crap, even though the store I work with encouraged me to do that and they would pay me more. I was much happy to make a little less money and walk out happy because I was seriously into this. But I would tell people stick to this program, stick to this plan for a month. Focus on working out and eating healthy. If you want to spend money on supplements, I mean, I'm all for it. Some of these things are great, some of these things are horrible. I'll help you kind of figure out what's what. But stick to it for a month and do not, under any circumstances, measure yourself. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're trying to achieve, do not step on the scale. Do not measure your forearm. Do not put on that pair of pants. Whatever it is, do not do it for one full month. But stick to the program as religiously as you possibly can. And if you miss one day, then do it twice as hard the next. And don't measure yourself at all. And at the end of that month, when you're finally ready to do this, when you're ready to measure yourself, before you step on that scale, before you do whatever, I want you to ask yourself two questions. One, are you happier right now than you were a month ago? Are you happy with your progress? Do you feel better about yourself? And is stepping on that measuring thing, is it going to discourage you if you don't see the results that you were expecting? And if the answer to the question is yes, I'm happier now, and yes, I will be discouraged if I don't see the number that I want, then throw that scale out the window or whatever is safer, because breaking glass and stuff is probably a bad idea generally. But, don't even step on that scale. Don't even worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's really important that you are happy. You're going to be better off in the long run and you eventually will hit that goal as long as you focus on being happy. So, the reason why I said this is when I first started working out, there was this guy. This guy must have been easily 340 pounds, and I'm not kidding. He would be at the gym almost every time I was there. He would work out before I would get there. He'd still be going after I got there. This guy could out cardio a horse. It was amazing. He would just go for it. And I was surprised that I didn't see any results on him. And after about a month or so, he stopped. And I mean, maybe he took my advice before I even formulated it, but I honestly believe he quit because he didn't see the numbers. Even though he was probably one of the healthiest people in that gym, no kidding. You got these big muscle guys that can barely run 5 feet, and then you got these skinny people who freak out when they eat a carrot. They're not happy. They're not healthy. This guy though, he was making positive changes. I mean, I hope maybe he just bought a treadmill or something, but I highly doubt it, unfortunately. And one of the key things here is just like being overweight can be massively unhealthy for you, being too skinny can be massively unhealthy for you. And in both sides, we're talking about your mental health just as much as your physical health. If you're morbidly obese, you're going to be probably depressed, and that's more of a physiological thing, chemicals in your brain and whatnot. Just like if you're not eating enough and you're not giving your body what it needs, you're also not going to be healthy at all, both mentally and physically. And not just that, but these massive bodybuilders, these Olympic athletes, these strong men, they oftentimes they die of heart attacks, which is strange when you think of what they can do, but it's because their body just cannot. Humans were not designed to support that much weight. Humans were not designed to subside at 90 pounds for 40 years. You're going to die. And in our society, we just don't focus on that. We have this whole culture where we have fat pride and fat shaming. And I think both of these things are horrible. Just being proud because you're overweight isn't really a thing. Don't get me wrong, if you're happy with yourself and you're confident, you should step outside. You should try to be an overweight model. I support it. Go for it. Do it. For the love of God, though, please make sure that you're like keeping some level of health, that you don't suffer some long term things. If you're at risk of diabetes, then change your diet. Doesn't mean you have to lose weight. Doesn't mean you have to work out and lift weights or do anything. To be fair, I don't care what you do though. If you're happy and you die at 60 happy, that's a much better thing to living to 120 and being miserable. A lot of this culture stuff, it seems to come from primarily Hollywood and the tabloids and the whatever TMZ, whatever. I don't watch this crap, so I don't even know. But, we talk about how Christian Bale went from 90 pounds to 250 or whatever the number is in under a month. It's amazing. Look at this guy. He's amazing. But what we don't talk about is what he had to go through to get there, how miserable he is, and also how much money he's getting paid to do that. He's not going to work 9 to 5 and then coming home and trying to work out and have a family and a wife and kids and catch up with Game of Thrones and, I don't know, eat a freaking pizza. If I paid you $250,000 to bulk up to 250 pounds and I gave you the food and a personal trainer who, if you listen to everything he tells you, you will achieve that goal. Guarantee most people watching this video will say, yes, okay, I'll take your $250,000 to do that. And that's just what they're doing. These guys are making massive amounts of money to do that. And it's unrealistic and it's unfair to yourself to try to hold yourself to these standards. So, really, what I'm trying to say, guys, is when it comes to physical fitness, don't think about numbers. Don't think about inches. Don't think about what the scale says. Don't even think about what other people say. If you're having problems dating, start dating. Try to find somebody else. If you're happy, you will find somebody. If you are happy, you will work out to the level that you're happy with. Anyway, in closing, again, be confident with yourself. Well, hope you all have fun and stay safe. End of video.